1 plus 1 is 2.
That is what we're told. 2 plus 2 is 4, right? And we accept these as truths. We accept these as facts, but they're not. Why? Because they're not. Yes, 1 apple plus 1 apple could be 2 apples, right? But if I take 1 drop of water and another drop of water, then that's 1 drop of water. If I take 2 people, a man and a woman, and I add them to 2 people, another man and a woman, and then I have them mate, one man mates with a woman, and then the other man mates with a woman. Now all of a sudden, 2 plus 2 is 6, assuming they each have 1 child. Now if they each have twins, then 2 plus 2 is 8. When you sit and you're told this is how things are, you're blinded from seeing things other than what you're told they are. 2 plus 2 is not always 4. Sometimes it's 6. Sometimes it's 8. Sometimes it's 1. Think outside the box and allow yourself the freedom to challenge everything that you've been told about how reality is and how it should be. When I catch myself saying something is not possible, I do try to stop and correct myself and instead say that I suspect that this thing has a low probability of occurrence. Instead of saying that I cannot do this, I try to correct myself to say instead that I might find this to be extremely difficult. I'm not always perfect in doing this, right? Because a particular way of speaking and of thinking in absolutes is imposed on us and taught to us from childhood. You're taught this is how it is. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. But imagine we lived in a society where your teacher taught you that yes, sometimes this is the case, but sometimes a perspective change can make things something else. When you structure a child's mind in such a rigid way, you're creating robots, you're creating machines, you're not teaching them, you're programming them. That's no different from AI. Because with AI, you put in a bunch of data and it spits out an answer. Things are moving super fast. In the last 50 years of training people to think like robots, this mindset, that's becoming obsolete because AI can do that infinitely better than a human can. Here's a counter to that. The difference between you and a machine is this: comprehension, true creativity, understanding. Because I can put in 1 plus 1 into a computer and it can spit out 2, but the computer is not thinking. The AI cannot understand. The AI cannot comprehend. It cannot truly think creatively, at least not yet. And this is going to become more important, a skill to develop going forward, even with art. I've seen a lot of AI generated art, and on one end, it used to kind of bother me. But then I realized, wait, heart is missing. Because it's one thing to create an image. It's another thing to have somebody tell a story that is heartfelt, that is creative, that has meaning to the creator, meaning developed from the experience of being human, existing in this reality. And that is going to become infinitely more important. So once being able to move and think like a machine used to be valued, but as mechanical computation becomes ubiquitous, that is no longer quite as important. In my opinion, it's the thing that makes us most humans: our heart, our understanding, our compassion, our consciousness, our awareness, our creativity, our ability to think outside the box. That is going to become infinitely more valuable than that rigid, structured, and flexible thinking that we are conditioned from birth to think. So as a viewer, I implore you to start nurturing that aspect of yourself, the ability to think outside the box, because that is what I believe is going to become infinitely more valuable in the society that is quickly, rapidly emerging today.